Okay, they finished their prayers. They salam to the right, salam to the left, and now you go quickly to Safa and Marwa. Behold, Safa and Marwa among the signs and symbols of God. Safa and Marwa are two hills. This masjid or mosque is so huge, it's inside of a long hallway. There are many people up there too. And you go, when you're at Safa, you stop and you face the Kaaba, declare the supremacy of God. Then you go to Marwa, face the Kaaba, and you do 3 takbirs. When you get to Safa, face the Kaaba, 3 takbirs. And the people are moving continuously. Then you stop at Marwa. And when you finish at Marwa, you face the Kaaba, you say a prayer, you say a dua, because you're supposed to go to the little tablet. That's a little space about 6 feet between the door and the black stone, but you can't get 3 million people there. So you just look at the Kaaba and say a prayer, then you exit. And you ask Allah anything you want. And you have to keep this ikram on. It might be 3 days you're sleeping and wearing these clothes of righteousness. Because this is the 10th day and you have to have it confirmed that your little goat or sheep or camel has been slaughtered so you can feed the food to the poor people. Now you can exit at Marwa. And you go back, you have to immediately go back to Mina. Get out of the crowds. A lot of people want to go in Mecca, take a shower, take the clothes off, rest, get some food. Because you're kind of dirty. You're very dirty. You literally visit the grave. That's when you're in Mina and laid side by side. And you have the dust of the grave on you. But at Mina, you have to be back. You have to get through those crowds. You have to be within the boundaries. You don't have to be in your tent, but you have to be within the boundaries by midnight. Can you imagine you're trying to get through the crowds coming and going, or people that live there, several million people, but you got to get yourself back. The buses might not be able to move, so you got to get off and walk. But there are vans and wheelchairs and people that can help the folks that can't walk. For the women and the old people, the handicapped and sick, I've seen people on stretchers with the doctors and nurses. They had IVs, but they were on stretchers and the doctor and nurses on Hajj with them. And you have wheelchairs, you have vans. They take the women and the old people and the children and the disabled out before the crowds. They'll take them to Mina, they'll take them in the Mecca, then to Mina, then to Arafat for a couple hours. They'll take them to Muzdalifah to say their prayers, get their stones, and take them back to Mecca to the hotels. And the next morning they will take them through the Hajj. There are people that already know that they are going next year, because immediately after the Hajj, 3 weeks after, they start cleaning up the Mount Arafat at Maghrib time. You have to leave because they start cleaning up. They're taking all those tents down. But they will clean the city up, to sanitize the facilities, and people will go. Doctors, specialists go, and all your medical care is free. Eye, nose, your teeth, your feet, all of that, your health. The hospitals of Saudi Arabia is free. And the American doctors, the German, the Spanish, whatever language they are there. And all the pharmacists are doctors as well. And you get your medicine free. So you go back to Mina and you stay there 2 to 3 days. And when you're in Mina, after Fajr, then you have your Fajr prayer, you rest up. But after the Dhuhr prayer, the noon prayer, early noon prayer, you stone 3 jamrods, each one with 7 stones after the Dhuhr prayer. You start with the small one, the medium size, and the third, and you do that for 2 to 3 days. 2 days is required, the 3rd day is optional. And you just stand and you go there, and then you go back to your tent. And you're supposed to say the takbirs to glorify and praise God. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. And then when you finish that, and by now you should should have had it confirmed, your group, that your little sheep have been slaughtered. Everyone has to pay for a little lamb or goat, or if you can afford a cow or sheep or camel or something, and they let you know how they let you know what they do. And when that is done, you can remove the ikram. But we recommend you stay in your clothes of righteousness for those 3 days and nights until you've confirmed it. When you've confirmed it, your Hajj is over. And now, after you've been in Minim, you have to come back to Mecca for your farewell to walk. You can't stay in the holy city. You're feeling all good, holy and righteous. You've been, seriously, you feel real good, you feel real blessed, and you've received miracles while you've been there, but you have to leave. So you got to come back to Mecca, and then you go to do your farewell to walks. This is a little easier. You stop on the black line, face the black stone, raise your right hand, Allahu Akbar, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Allahu Akbar, blow the kiss. You do the 7 tawafs. You walk around 7 times, and then no, you don't say the talmud, you just praise God. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. And once you finish the 7, you stop on the black line again. You begin and end on the black line, or at the black stone. That line goes from the corner of the black stone all the way to the edges of the mountain.